Hello, Calligraphy friends. Erin here, and you might hear my bird. Hello, Alaska. How are you? I'm happy to see you here again. You might hear my bird today because normally my husband takes him while I stream, but he had to go to the office today. So actually, I just saw that my chat box, his name is Bruce, aka the Hulk, because he's a green cheek conure and he's kind of always mad. Yeah. So you can hear him because his cage is right there. So he might make an appearance. We'll see. Because when he hears me talking and if he's not out of his cage, he tends to get a little bit cranky. So we'll see. He doesn't always play nicely while I'm doing calligraphy, which is usually why I keep him either in his cage while I'm working or he's with my husband, specifically when I'm streaming. But we'll see. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed that he's not gonna be a giant pain in the butt today. Keep our fingers crossed. Cool. So yeah, Alaska, nice to see you again. It's good. You want to see him? All right. Well, hold on a second. Let me grant your wish. Let's see if he comes out. Come here. Come here. Up, up. Go. He's here. He's also eating something. I gave him I hid the treats in his cage before to keep him occupied. But he'll want to talk, so we'll see. Yeah, he's a big pain in the butt most of the time. Yeah. He's a green cheek conure. He's fun to be in my office while I'm working because he keeps me company, but while streaming, he hears my voice. He's like, "Oh, you're talking to me. That means I shall also need to talk." Anyway, this is Bruce. If you follow me on Instagram, I have a whole highlights thing all for him. So I'm gonna put him back in his cage with some treats. So hopefully he behaves. We shall see. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed. But so today, continuing on with Majuscules. So I did see that you did follow along with last week's, so that's fun. Very cool. So hopefully you have your pencil and your paper out. Oh my god, it's totally fine. Don't even worry about it. It's all good. No worries. I also am noticing as well, I think my volume's a bit high, my chat box, I accidentally messed with my settings before, and so like my stuff kind of got a little weird on my stream. Anyways, okay, it should be good now. All right, cool. Yeah, so we're doing Majuscules today. We're going to continue on. Before let me switch to my other camera. I'm going to start with some warm-ups, and I don't think you saw the warm-ups last time. I think you came in a little later, so we'll start that first. So this is just kind of to get your hand warmed up with the motion. So I'll go with the pencil. I'll zoom that in a little bit. So essentially we're just going to start with some ovals because Copperplate is based on ovals. I also realized that my camera is a bit delayed. Let's see. Still a bit delayed. Delayed. Sorry for the stuff. Let me do that. There we go. No delay anymore. Yeah, all the ovals everywhere. So we'll start with just doing some clockwise circles. And in that too, when you're practicing, you're going to be not pressing hard and then pressing. So we're going to be, practicing that pressure and release. What were you doing before coming to check out my stream today? Obviously, by the way, these ovals don't need to be pretty by any stretch of the imagination, because clearly these are not. I was also just, I was in a class before coming to do my stream today, learning some Mataraz script from Chinlong, who is at Open Inkstand on Instagram. And man, that is difficult. That is a hard hand to learn. Whew. Ooh, Bonnie's art. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check her out after. That's cool. I love the artist streams. They're so chill and so relaxing. Like, I thoroughly enjoy them. So I'm trying to keep my Twitch chat on my camera, on my phone, so I can watch the... So I don't have to keep looking over to my computer screen. But it doesn't seem to want to connect. Ah, there we go. I think I got it now. Your ovals are that's fine. Your ovals, they're not supposed to be perfect. Look at, like, mine are, they're all over the place. They're not even within my lines. It's all good. And we're going to go counterclockwise. Same thing. So we're going away. We're not pressing very hard. When we're going down, that's where the pressure is. No, it's fine. It's so, like, because I was just in a class learning something new, like, literally right before this, like, it just ended at, like, 2:30. It reminds me of the frustration or the, like, difficulty of trying to learn something new when it's not working, or, like, you're, like, just learning something. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and frustrated, for sure. Because that was me. It was literally me. Like, it's not like I've never taken classes before, but I was getting so frustrated with myself. So I'm like, it's not working. It's not working. It's driving me crazy. So another one I like to do is an infinity loop. So it's just... Same thing. Every time you're going towards yourself, you're going to be pressing away is light. Doesn't need to be perfect. No, it's fine. Bruce. It's funny. When he gets mad, he, like, yells, but then he has his back to me and he's looking at me like, bitch. Yeah, pretty much. It's just kind of to get our hand used to the motion. Do you want to come out of your cage? Are you going to behave? He doesn't like this sweater, so I'll have to take it off. We'll see if he decides to stay on my shoulder nicely. No, yeah. Come here. Actually, I'll put on my, I have like a jean shirt over here. I'll put this on to keep him from eating the through line. Come here. Come here. Stop bitching. Come here. There. We'll see. Yeah, he probably won't behave, but we'll see. We're gonna keep our fingers. Sometimes he likes to sit on my left hand while I'm working, so if that's the worst he does, that's fine. Cool. Oh, I'm sure with Lego, I'm sure that they're just like, oh, new toys. So the cone shape, by the way, this is to practice the changing of the shapes. So you're going from small to big, small again. Excuse me, Bruce. Excuse me. He will not be. Yeah, pretty much these are my toys now. Come here. Excuse me. Bruce has just turned 2, like a couple months ago, which is also why he's a bit more ornery than he used to be when we first got him. Because when birds turn 2, it's like they're teenage years. So he's kind of going through his teenage rebellion right now. And it's springtime, and specifically for him, I'm pretty sure he's going through his like a hormonal change. So he's a bit more, he's a bit more territorial and aggressive than he is usually. So he can be a little bit more like, there are some mornings I'm just like, I should give you back to the pet store. Yeah, it's starting to be. It's starting to get into that time of like spring and I would like to make babies kind of thing. So I use this too. It's just like a circle. It's like a pie where I do the same kind of, you know, infinity loops, but within the shape, and then some circles or ovals rather. It's fun to do this as well with ink, but it works just for this too. Yeah, he does need his Black Widow to like the sun's going way down. The sun's going it's gone real low, getting real low. Oh, now he's preening me. This is perfect. Yeah, the sun's getting real low. I also kind of just like doing ovals. I feel like it's just kind of relaxing. Sometimes when I'm on the phone or like on a video chat with friends or something, I'll just kind of do this absent-mindedly on paper. Here, you can hang out right here. He's just gonna hang out here. No, you know you're not allowed at my table. Sometimes he just likes to be right here in front of my mouth. Are you letting me talking to my bird or the oval thing? Or both? Cool. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yeah, I used to, when I started streaming probably 6 months ago, because I wasn't very consistent with it, and now I have like a plan, so it's a bit easier. I used to have a conure cam, like the camera that's on the bottom here. It used to be pointed at his cage, but he got to be too talkative while I would be talking, because the only time he would be not like annoying would be out of his cage. And sometimes when there's ink and stuff, I don't like having him out. It's a bit dangerous. It could be potentially dangerous that he would like to try to drink it or something. So my husband, you know, I told him when my streams were, and he's like, I'll make sure or try my best not to have work calls during that time, and I'll take him. I'm like, thank you, appreciate it. He does want to be the star, and it doesn't help that he's been only with me and my husband for the past like since quarantine, because we can't have anyone over. So he's just like, so I am your child now. Excuse me, Bruce, you cannot come. No, come here. We're gonna move on from our warm-ups. Oh, I know what you want. Hold on, he wants to play with paper towel. Is this what you want? Yes it is. Don't bite my finger, bite the paper towel. Here. Oh my god. Hi, I'm professional. Bruce, what are you doing? Jeez. Yeah, exactly, like... Yes. Professional. professionals do. Here, have paper towel and play with this. Oh, that's weird. Did you get that's odd. I wonder if it, like, if you, like, reconnected to the stream or something. Listen. This is just the most professional stream I've ever done, I think. Here. It's gonna be less teaching and more me wrangling him. Are you fine? I'm glad it's entertaining. It's good. It's perfect. It's great. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to go right into the ink now. Sweet. Yeah. Great. Cool. Bruce, I love you. Sometimes. Sometimes. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to redo a little reminder of the Majuscule strokes from last week. So we have the line of universal beauty. Which is a bit of a curve, then we're pressing, and then we're curving away. And with a pencil, you should be able to mimic that pretty well. He kind of does. He does say, "Who's a good boy?" and "kiss, kiss," because he hears me and my husband say that. What's the other thing? There's a couple things he'll say. And, like, I know he's trying to imitate "Who's a good boy," but it's not exactly. It's fine. In English and in Portuguese, nice. What kind of bird was it? Or do you know? Oh, parakeet. Okay. Very cute. I like birds. I'm weird. Because we're not allowed dogs, and I'm allergic to cats because we live in an apartment. There we go. So we have a curve, a weight, and then a curve away. I think birds are so funny. They're like clowns. Like Conyers, which is what he is like super clown-like. Like the things he gets up to, I'm just like, what are you doing? Oh, he says, it's like, what are you doing? He does that sometimes too. Oh yeah, stress plucking is super sad, and it's one of those things that sometimes, like, once they get used to it, it's hard to break them of the habit. But yeah, it's like a stress thing if they get really used to a certain thing and then you change their behavior in some way, or like if you change their food with it, like they're so finicky. It's so sad. There's a couple of birds I follow on TikTok. There's one that's a big, oh my god, it's a big white bird. A cockatoo. And like the front is fully plucked because their owner died, and they got so stressed out that their owner died. Oh, that he plucked. Oh, the family, yeah. So he plucked all of his front feathers. They got readopted, and now like the TikTok is all about like the dancing bird, and it's very fun and all that kind of thing, and making the bird happy. It's very cute. It's very cute content. Listen, TikTok content, it's so good sometimes. We're pretty chill here at home, so he's fine. His cage is full of toys, and like treats are hidden in there, and he still just wants to be with us. Like that's they're very motivated by attention. Like that's pretty much what they love, right? It's just like being with many people, like people, and getting attention from people. Like that's their currency. So like even though his cage is full of toys, like he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be on my shoulder. So that's fine. If he just wants to be on my shoulder, he's actually being very good. He's just kind of there. Not going to move too much. Stay right here. We'll see. Yeah, so I'll just do a couple more of the lines of universal beauty. So a lot of the Majuscules have this guy in it. We're going to do an overturn, starting from left, moving away. Oh, you don't have headphones on? I'm sure the cat is very much like, oh, food? Food? Is that what this is? Perfect. And then you can go here from right and down to the left. And you can see that the shading changes. That's cute. My desk is right in front of our windows in my office. I'm on the second floor, so like I have a little perch that's movable, and I'll put his cage in front of it. And in the summer when the windows are open, there's some hedges in front, and there's little sparrows that live there, and they like try and talk to each other. It's very adorable. I feel like I'm Snow White. It's wonderful. I just am missing, long hair and, poisoned apples and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, totally like Snow White. Cooler Snow White. That's right. Yeah, short hair. It's very cool. All right, we're gonna do our C curve. It's like an oval that's on its side. There's no really pressure on here. You can put a little bit like there if you want. That's cool. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I used to have very long hair for the longest time. I only cut it a couple years ago, and I'm like, I'm never going back. Never. I can't. You failed? Why? No, I'm sure it was fine. My hairdresser was so excited to cut my hair. I don't think it's often that you get someone, because my hair was long. It was down to here. And I went in and I was just like, Vanessa, cut it all off. And she's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, do it. Your face is too round. Oh no. I think it would look great. I think most people, honestly, like guys of all shapes and sizes, all have short hair. So, I don't know. My hairdresser was ecstatic. She was like, yes. Oh, don't let weight loss stop you. Just do it. Like I lost weight. I got my hair cut when I had lost weight, yes, but like I'm gaining it back, and I have like my little chubby cheeks back again, but I'm like, I don't care. You know what this does? It actually kind of gives me a jawline. Your current, oh, cool. The short hair is like such a game changer, man. Really? Okay, fair. Like I loved having my long hair, but it was such a pain. Like I couldn't just like get up and go. I had to do something because my hair was it was like a mixture of like weird frizzy, curly, straight. I had to do something to it. I couldn't just wear it and go. Yeah. So I was just like, cut it all off. Just get rid of it. I don't want it anymore. And this is the best ever. I'm like, my showers are so much shorter. It's so great. I don't have to spend hours like trying to braid it, because I used to braid my hair like crazy. I would like do like lots of different things with my hair, and I'm just like, I don't have time. Now I'm just like, perfect shower. I'm like a boy. I get to go and take a shower, and blow dry it, my hair if I want to, or put a cap on. Just put a hat. I'm good. I'm ready for my day. It's wonderful. Honestly, I think if I were to cut my hair out, let my hair grow now, I think it would probably be healthier, and it'd probably be a lot easier for me to just do nothing to it. Because I think my hair is really overly processed. Like I straightened years as well. Yeah, but when you style your hair when it's short though, because I kind of style it a little bit now, not too much. I will blow dry it more often, but you get it cut more often, so it's like stays healthier way longer, which is why I can get away with bleaching the absolute shit out of it. Because like I'm a redhead naturally, so going from red to white blonde is very hard. So I'm there for many hours with much bleach. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm naturally redhead. It's gotten more brownish as I've gotten older, but yeah, no, I like if I get sun bleached and stuff. That's what most people say. It's like, I try, and you've taken away. I'm like, no, I just, when it's what your natural hair color is, you're like, whatever, I don't care. And then when my hair was long, I started dyeing it really red. Like it was like almost not quite fire engine red. It was like pretty red though. And then I cut it all off and I kept it red for a bit. And I was like, we go platinum? And my hairdresser was like, we can try. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And she did it. I've had it very white. Right now, I had let it grow out to redhead brown during COVID. And then I was just like, bring it back. So right now it's in that in between. It's not quite platinum. It's kind of more yellow. And then next time I go, she'll be able to bring it all the way. Oh yeah, no. I'm like, if you find my Instagram somewhere, that's like, it's like at Nielsen Letters, find it, you'll see pictures of me with my longer hair, I think, earlier on, possibly. But yeah, so it's platinum. I usually get platinum with purple roots, like dark purple roots. I've had it like bubblegum pink. It's fun. It's good. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Yeah, pink was fun. I only did it once. It didn't last very long. It washes it really fast. Because it's only demi-permanent or semi-permanent, whatever it's called. It's the color that like they don't make it as a permanent color, so it doesn't stay for very long. It washes out really fast. I know I had my pink hair in a stream, so it's somewhere. Are you okay, Bruce? Are you fine? Are you okay? Are you okay? I think the answer is no. G, and then I have H. Oh, thank you. Cool. Cool. I appreciate it. But in there is maybe when I had longer hair. If not, if you DM me, I'll DM you back my personal account because it's public too. It's just I don't have them linked. Cool. I try. It was rough for a while there because I was like, I don't understand what this looks like. Social media is a whole nother beast, man. It's a whole nother ball of wax. Man, oh man. So I appreciate that because it's tough. I'm like, how do I learn? How? I've taken so many classes, so many skill shares. All right, we're going to go into the letter I. Because, like, essentially, this stuff is what we did last time. We have our basic strokes, A through H. Now we're going into the letter I. So the letter I is pretty simple. We're doing the line of universal beauty to here. And then we're starting, and we're going to do that overturn starting from the top, and we're going down like that. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Social media is one of those things that, like, you kind of have to do it if you have a business, and it's, how do I want to put this? I have curated my feed to be much less annoying. Because I found I was following a lot of people that just made me feel like I was shit. So I was like, why am I doing this to myself? So either I would unfollow, or if I knew them, I mute them so they don't. Yeah, it helped a lot. Yeah, and I try to just like, I try not to be on it all the time. Like I'll do like short things and like post and stuff. I never go on Facebook anymore. I think Facebook is there for me if I need to, because certain people, like it's easier for me to talk to them that way. So I use like Facebook Messenger, but Facebook is like I have my business account on there, and because I manage another social media account for my calligraphy guild. Yeah, that's it. Like I run mine, I run my other business on there, and I have I run the social media for my calligraphy guild in the city, so I have to have it. But other than that, I'm like, I'll answer questions if people DM me or something, but that's pretty much it. It's not something I focus on a lot. Oh, I think my husband's home. Did you just poop? Sorry. He just pooped on my chair. Give me a sec. I'm going to clean that so I don't lean back on it. It's fine. It happens all the time. But it's easy. I just need to clean it. Just one sec. All right, I'm back. No big deal. It's all good. But yeah, I run a few, so I can't just delete it, but I try not to go on it all the time. There's my husband. I knew I heard him somewhere. He'll be taking Bruce. All right, so we have our J, which is essentially the same as the I, except just going all the way down to the descender line down here, coming up and crossing the baseline, coming back up, and then we're going to do the same shape here, but we're going to pull it all the way down to here. So we're going to go down and pull back up again. Ah, there we go. Perfect. There's the J. So pull that down, up, cross here, and then pull that back over. Both of them, I have the weight in the wrong place. Let me try that one more time. There we go. That's better. So the weight should be more from here to here. Here I had it too low, and here I had it too high. So it should be kind of more split in the middle of the stroke. And then we're pulling it back up here, and then back around. Twitch and I don't really do Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I don't remember the last time I posted on it. I just have one because you should have one, but I tend to stick on Instagram. And by stick on Instagram, I mean it's more like it's where I am mostly posting. So Instagram is mostly where I am, but I'm trying to not focus solely on that. Hence why I started doing the Twitch stuff, because like being on Instagram all the time is just not good for your mental health. Like it's really not. Oh, poetry Twitter. That's fun. That's very cool. I don't poetry at all, but I can respect the fact that that's a skill that I don't have. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's sometimes you just need to take a break. Like the social media thing is kind of intense, and if you don't take those like breaks every so often, especially depending if you're like streaming for a really long time or for like many days in a row, which is why I give myself, there are 2 days that I do it and then that's it. This K sucked, so I'm going to ignore that one. Where did I do my K on my sample sheet? Oh yeah, okay. There we go, that's better. Oh, 8-hour streams. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit intense. Like the max I'll really go. I think the last one was like I think I did 2 hours, maybe. I mean, it's still a long time, but it's 8. I don't know. I think my hand would fall off if I did 8-hour streams. Jeez. Because I don't game, right? My husband does, but it's not like on Twitch, but like I don't game. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Oh my God, man, no wonder. Jeez. Sleeping? I like to sleep. That's when I go to bed. Well, maybe not crazy. Maybe you're more of a night owl. I'm not a night owl anymore. I can't do it. Yeah. That's good. It's a good idea. Good plan. All right, so we have the letter K, and it's going to be a line of universal beauty. Oh, and this is a compound curve that I had gone over with my minuscules. This is a compound curve. So a compound curve is essentially like you're going up and away, light, pulling down towards you, and then up and away again. So you're having a little compound curve here. So this is the shape that's here. So line of universal beauty, compound curve, and then that's the shape. So you're coming from the top and you're pulling towards you at like, I don't know what angle that is. I don't remember. I don't even know. Probably like 30 degrees here. And then you're doing like another compound curve this way. So the weight is going to be on the 55 and then you're pushing away from yourself again in light. But good for you, by the way, for like recognizing that. Well, it's because we're not doing this in order. We're stopping or talking in between. That's why. It's the consistency, but it's fine. It's cool. My streams are there. I'm gonna upload this to Discord. I'm sorry, by the way, for missing the Discord thing. I didn't realize I didn't have my notifications turned on my end. I fixed it now, so sorry about that. But I'll be uploading this sheet, or I might redo it to be a bit cleaner, like quickly. I'll put it on the Discord so then you can have it as a reference if you want to go back through it. You can. Yeah, okay, so let's do that one more time. So line of universal beauty, press away, compound curve, and then we're pulling down, away, and then little mini compound curve again. So we're trying to make sure that where this line goes here, we're not passing where this guy starts. We're kind of keeping it in the same place. All right. Okay. We're doing L. So the L, your second K was better? Good. Yeah, it's because like if you do it all at once, it'll be good. So the L, so technically this is what it should look like, okay? Because we're doing a C curve here. We're coming back up to the top here. We're having at the ascender. We're switching direction, and then we're coming back down and we're doing that line of universal beauty. We're going back like the letter D that we did last week. It's that little sleeping oval, and we're coming back up again. Because I was going slow, it looks a bit weird, so let me do that a little bit faster. So it would be like this. However, because you have to push the line out so much, generally speaking for me, if you see above my head, you'll see an L, but you see the line goes underneath. The reason why I prefer to do that is for spacing in between when you're making an actual word. Like, for example, love. Okay, so we're doing capital L, down, over, O, V, like that. So you have good spacing here, but then here you have a big lump of empty space. Just because you have to pull that stem out quite a bit. So what I usually do is I'll drop it below the baseline, and then I'll tuck that in, so then all the spacing from here, 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 and here is all even instead of having a gigantic space here. Cool. But again, it just depends. You can still do it. I just find it looks a bit squished. You can do it like this. Like, and just bring it up really short. But I kind of like the way it looks like when it's underneath. It gives it a bit of, it looks like it's breathing a bit more organic versus being so stiff. Because at the end of the day, like, we're not computers, right? It does, you kind of want it to look like a human being did it. So. All right, so the letter M. It's unfortunate that my last name starts with an N, like Nielsen, right? Because I dislike M's and N's thoroughly, and I have to write them all the time. So I'll do the simple M versus the one the one that's like technically the proper copperplate M and N's. I don't like doing, so I'll do the easier one instead. I'll show you the other one. It's just hard to explain as well, but we'll do LM. We'll do this one. So the easier M is the one that starts with a C curve here up to the top, and then we're gonna just pull down right here. We're gonna do sorry, my paper got wet a little bit here, but it's fine. That's hence why it's bleeding right now. And we're just doing a distant downstroke. And we're gonna go here. We're gonna do one big arch, one big overturn. Then we're gonna do another overturn, not all the way up, and it's essentially a compound curve. So this is more kind of like a modern calligraphy M. I don't know where I picked it up, but this is one of the ones that I will do most often because I find it easier. And it's pretty legible as an M, so I don't feel too bad doing it. The proper way to do a copperplate M is difficult, which is why I try to avoid it. So we're going to do line of universal beauty. We're going to do kind of another one, but that's, instead of being on the angle, it's a curve that's like a 90. And then we're going to go back lightly, again with the 55, and then bringing it down and then up again. It's hard to do. It's hard to do, and it's hard to explain. It's a difficult one. I'm not very good at doing it, again, which is why I don't do it often. If I can avoid it, I do. So let me try it again without complaining. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Okay, and then down, and then away, and then down, and then here. Yeah, it's like, and also because I'm not very proficient at it, it never looks fantastic either. I'm sure if I practiced it more, it would be better. It's a bit better, anyways. Because like this is, I find, is like really wide, but that's mostly because I can't do it properly. right? Yeah. It's because of the changing of the angles. Or at least for me, that's why it's hard. Which is why I usually do this one, because this is just much easier. Because it's much more straightforward. Because this one we're doing line of universal beauty, but then we're doing another one, but it's not really on that 55, and then we're going away, and then we're doing it again, but it's not a curve. It's just straight down and then back up again. Not a fan. It's not for me. So the N, similarly, I have issues with it. So actually, when I did my Nielsen letters, I'm just redoing my branding, which is why I like, depending on when you've seen my streams, like it changes all the time because I'm testing things out and figuring out what I want to do with it. And I decided I kind of like this one, which is fine because it fills up the space a bit better. Because I can pull this out and pull this out, and it makes it more even. But we'll do the N that I usually will opt for simplicity reasons, is essentially the N, the M without this last little bit right here. So my old logo had this N. But so it's C curve going up. We're doing a downstroke and then up, down, and away. And here we're having our little compound curve that should follow the 55, more or less. Or you have the N that I did there, which is along the 55. But this one I pulled out and I did a compound curve there. Yeah, it's so much easier, right? And then it's we're going down straight, and then we're pushing away. But because this is so wide, this one I find you can pull it out a bit more, and it makes it a bit more visually even. But yeah, this one is just, this one feels more like an N that you might write in like a cursive or something. It's just simpler. This is usually the one that I'll tell my students to do over like something like this, because even though this is like, it's a capital N, this is much faster and much easier to learn, in my opinion. Oh, actually, Alaska, did you, because I think I had uploaded onto Discord the actual, like, my sheets, like my guidelines sheets. Did you end up printing them out to try to follow along, or are you just using like a regular paper? Because if you have the inclination to do so, or a printer, I would highly recommend, if you're going to practice, to use guidelines for yourself. It will make life easier, and you'll understand a little bit more with like proportions and stuff. But no stress if you didn't. It's okay. I'm not going to be mad. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, if you ever want to do that, then it's easier to follow along too. Cool. LMN. So it's the letter O. So letter O is pretty straightforward. We're going to do the C curve. We're going to go up. We're going to come back down with the weight and then go back up to itself. That's it. So C curve up, and as we're coming down, we're pressing, and then away. Or if you don't want to do the C curve, you can just do that if you want. If you want to go really crazy, you can go up, down, and then you can kind of make it a little more swirly inside. This one's not great though, because I'll get a bit technical. So if you choose to do it like this is not fantastic, but it's better than the first one, is the space in here and the lines here need to be parallel, if you choose to do something like that. Normally, I find sometimes, depending on what I'm writing, I find that can be a little too heavy, a little bit too messy. So I'll just do, and I'll stop. I'll just stop there instead of bringing it back in on itself, but it just depends. This is a bit more fancy. But yeah, I'll just come up and meet it, and I'll just, you know, get that right in there. So. Cool. So I'll get to the P. No rush, no rush, no rush. Especially because you're using a pencil, like it's going to be much easier for you with this because you won't also have to worry about it bleeding, like the ink bleeding through. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you can always just like run a ruler and at least have a baseline just so you're not doing, you know, dancing on the page. I know if I don't use a baseline, like my words end up curving down. Like I end up writing like I want to write in a circle. It's weird. Cool. L-O-P, so letter P. So the P, I'm going to show you two variations. So line of universal beauty. And then we're going to start it like a B. So we're going to be pressing that overturn, bringing it up and over. But instead of like a B in which you would come in and then come back out again, we're just going to end it here. So we're still looking for, there's that little triangle I had mentioned last week is living in here. This should be a bit more, like essentially the weight that's here and the weight that's here should be on the 55 degree. So P's are hard for that reason. The same reason a B is hard, the same reason D is hard is because like you're having those two shades, two weights are both supposed to be along the 55 degrees and they're supposed to be parallel to each other. So it's hard to do if like I've been doing this for years and it's still difficult for me to do, which is why a lot of times I will do most of my drafting. I do everything in pencil first. A lot of people go in right with a pen and I'm like, you guys are brave. I can't. I am a big puss and I can't do it. I do pencil first because it helps. It's like a little security blanket. It makes me feel better. So the other way to do the letter P is using that compound curve. We're going to start it similarly like how we did the M. So we're doing a C curve over here and then up. Oops, just a wide up. I'm going to bring it down. And then up and over like this. Oh, I actually like to overdo it a little bit. Ooh, you got your paper, nice. Cool. So ignore this one, it'll be this one. So we're starting with the C curve. We're coming up to the ascender line, coming back down, up, and then a curve. I like, this one reads to me like a P very much so too. It's also a bit more fun. I think it's probably more modern. I'm sure I saw this somewhere and I was just like, I like that, and I started doing it. I can't tell you where I saw it. I don't remember, but this is for sure not me creating this. 110%. So we have either this one or we have this one. And like this too opens up a lot of possibilities for like flourishing. So you can kind of, get a little crazy. When you have like this be a bit more open, you can kind of play around with it a little bit. But again, it depends on what your needs are. You don't always need to use it to be very fluffy. So yeah, there's those two. And then we're gonna do the letter Q. So the letter Q is essentially the letter O with a little fluff on the bottom. So we're gonna do C curve, go up, down, meet itself. Actually, I put that a little bit too wide. There we go. Kind of like that. That one's better. Don't look at that one. That one's better. C curve up, down, over. If you're using a nib and a pen for this, you have to make a little swash underneath here. But moving the pen this way, that's not how it works, right? The way that a pen works is you're pressing down this way, so you have to change the direction to make that little swoosh, the little swash on the bottom. So I just moved it to go this way. It's because like if you're going this way, you're like it's not gonna work. It's gonna be really weird. So you have to kind of just change direction for that one. But if you're using a pencil, you don't have to worry about that. You just do it. Did it do something like this? Because I know that doing the direction change is difficult. Is that what happened? Like was it one of these things where like there's too many ovals? Because I know that can be difficult. If it becomes difficult though, you don't have to do the C curve coming into it if you don't want to. You can just do it like that. It's fine. Looks squished. Did it do that? Was it like really narrow? Because that might just be like, that's why we were doing all those ovals and stuff. Oh yeah, having lines. Yeah, that makes sense. I've had people ask me like if the spacing of the dotted lines is important. It's not. It's literally just, it's the 55 degrees. That's it. And I didn't set them to some specific like, oh, like the letters should fit however many in between. So oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fine. Yeah, it's an adjustment. That's okay though. I mean, worst case scenario, you can always work it like really big. If you want to use the whole thing, I'm not there. I'm not gonna, it's fine. It's just paper. Because it's easier sometimes to work bigger, like, because it's just easier to use your tools versus like working really tiny. So if it makes it easier, just use the whole line instead. You just won't, you'll at least have the 55. It's just you won't have the proportions properly for that. That's all. For when you're doing minuscules. Q, and then I think R was the last. QR. Yeah, R was the last one that we're going to do, but then I'll go through the A through R, and then you can follow along with that too if you want. So an R, kind of like a P, there's going to be two variations. So one is going to be the line of universal beauty. We're going to do that overturn, come back up over, and instead of stopping right here to bring it back up again, it's kind of going to be more like the B. So we're coming here to the waistline. And then like the K, we have that little compound curve there. So I'll do that a little bit faster. So line of universal beauty, overturn up over here, and then that one's better. So we're looking for that triangle that's here. The shades should be at that 55 degree. Yeah. When you have a lot of like little finaglies in there, 100%. Or you can do it like the other way of what I did with the P. So we're doing a C curve up, down. And we're coming and we're bringing it back to itself. And then I like to bring this one down. This is a much more like modern calligraphy type of R. But with this, because it's of the way that the curve is, you kind of have to adjust. If you're ever going to use a nib for this, you kind of have to adjust instead of pulling it this way, which is what I did because I felt it in my nib. It was like fighting me. I should have turned my nib to go the correct direction. So, like that. You can do it like that. Cool. So now we can do A through R, and you can follow along with your lined paper now if you'd like. So the A, we're going line of universal beauty. We're coming down, downstroke. I'm doing that little like weird oval and then bringing it back up again. Actually, I think I zoomed out a little too much. There we go. Then a B, line of universal beauty, overturn, and then we're kind of like an R, kind of like the P. We're doing that little loop here, and then we're coming back around, but we're curling it back up into itself. So the C, we're doing C curve and then bringing it back down again along that 55 degrees. So the D here, we're coming from the line of universal beauty, bringing it down, that little sleeping oval, bring it back up again against that 55 degrees, coming over, overturn, and we're ending over here, all in one shot. Or you can do the other way, in which you do it in two shots. So you're down here, and then you stop, overturn, and then you meet it on itself. So you have one that has shade on both sides, and this has shade just on the left. Then we have the letter E. So it's C curve, and then we're changing direction and we're coming back down along the 55 degrees. We're coming back up and away, 55 degrees, then coming back up. And I kind of point to where the little point is here. It's kind of where my thing is, unless I'm writing a word like my name, for example, which is Aaron. I won't meet it towards itself. I'll pull it out a little bit so I can connect it to a minuscule. Or you can kind of do a little curl in on itself too. Just a lot of ovals. Kind of like that. So there's a lot of options. So then we have our F, which is the line of universal beauty. Yeah, when you have more curls, it can sometimes be really delicate and it's very feminine. So the F has two ways. It just depends on how you want to do it. So you have line of universal beauty. You start from the left and work your way away. You're only going to have the weight here and here, or line of universal beauty. And then if you start from the right down to the left, you're going to have a weight on that little overturn there. So it just depends on what you prefer to do. So we then have our G, which is C curve, up, down, like you were doing, like you're doing a Q, like you're doing a C, like you're doing an O, except you're not going all the way down to the baseline. Actually, I did it a little bit too low. Should have been like, it's about halfway. between the waistline and the baseline. Bring it back up, and then we're doing like a little line of universal beauty here and bring it back up to itself. So let me do that again. Like a G. And then we have our H. So this one I did all in one shot. I don't remember if I did it that way last week, but so C curve, we're coming up, line of universal beauty. I'm bringing it back up so I can cross. And then this is essentially minuscule L. You can also do it where you don't have to connect them. So you have line of universal beauty, you don't connect, you cross the H, you bring it back up again, and then you can just do a little compound curve on the left. Yeah, no happy. It'll just be happy birthday for you. Or just put an apostrophe in place of it. You're going to the hotel instead of the hotel. HI is the line of universal beauty, and then with an overturn, coming from right to left. And then the J is essentially this guy, but more stretched. So we're doing a line of universal beauty, but down, all the way down to the descender line. We're going to bring it back up, crossing just underneath the baseline, bring it back up again. And then the same overturn, except I'm going to go and aim for about halfway between the waistline and baseline. So all of a sudden you have a J. So the K, line of universal beauty. How did I do it? Yeah. Compound curve. And then like it's weird. It's hard to describe this shape here because it's not really on the 55. It's probably around 30 degrees. And you're kind of stabbing it in at the waistline over here, and then you're coming back out and doing a little compound curve. JKL. So I'm gonna break the baseline. I'm just gonna bring it down underneath it a little bit, but it's a C curve, line of universal beauty, sleeping oval, and then back over again. I'm only gonna do the M that I like, not the other one, because it's not great. It's not fantastic. So I'm gonna do it's kind of like McDonald's arches if they were nicer. C curve up to a downstroke, an overturn, and a compound curve. And then the N is like the M. And then the O, C curve, and then we're doing into an oval. So I'll do both P's. That one was not good, too much space. That's better. There was too much space here, which is why this one was not good. Or we have the one that's here, so line of universal beauty, overturn, up, over and up to itself again. So it just depends on what you're doing, what you'd like. The Q is a C curve and then an oval. And then I'm going to switch the direction of my nib to go this way. So I have my little swash. And then the R is going to be very similar to the P. C curve, up, down. Except I'm going to do that little bit more of a modern R. compound curve, overturn, back, and then compound curve. So very much like, it's like the B and the K had a little baby and it looked like the R. That's it. And there we go. And I'm just gonna write a little thank you. Yay! And there was much rejoicing. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things of like, you don't realize how useful it could potentially be until you're older and you're like, wait a second. I have to learn all this over again. Oh no. But if you want to look at one that's actually more like cursive than this is, because this is Copperplate, it's called Spencerian, which is much more handwriting or cursive than Copperplate is. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my nib out of my pen holder. Oh. I have to take my little screwdriver and undo it. That's a bit too tight. No? Come on, girl. There we go. But yeah, there's Spencerian is more cursive-y. But yeah, it's a similar concept. Because well, Spencerian is meant to be more quick. Copperplate's pretty slow. Like, I would never write like a grocery list with using Copperplate, like ever. Like ever. It would take forever in a day. I was like, do I have any Spencerian stuff that I did as homework somewhere? I might. Because I've done Fine, I get you. I see you. I understood that was while. But yeah, this is Spencerian. So this is from a different teacher, but like this is Spencerian. So it's a lot more, it's not as much thins and thicks the way that there is here. It's very much just thin. It's meant to be done quickly. Her name is Martha Scribes on Instagram. If you want to go take a look at her, she was the one I learned from. She's fantastic. She's in Australia. And because of the time, like because of COVID, I was actually able to take a class with her because of the time difference that was so crazy. I couldn't ever learn from her before because I would always have like work or something in the morning. But now it's like, whatever, who cares? But yeah, it's really cool. She's the one I learned from for doing that. Or at Master Penman. Her name is Harvest Crittenden. She's actually a master penman and she does a lot of Spencerian in her work. So it's really cool. It's meant for speed, much more than Copperplate is. Copperplate is very much like slow. It's very slow. It's pretty, but we're taking our time. We're not rushing. So yeah, there's like a gajillion different types of scripts. Actually, I can show you a better option for Spencerian without me feeling weird about showing like another teacher's work without their permission. So there's this book. It's called the Speedball Textbook, which has a bunch of different types of writing and different scripts inside. And the Spencerian one is nearish the back. Yeah, here we go. So this is Spencerian. So it's meant for speed. It's on a pretty steep angle because you don't have to worry so much about the shading as much either. They're in certain spots that's pretty monoline, so you can use just like a regular pen, and it doesn't look odd if you use it, because it's less about it's still ovally, but it's like almost more sharp. Yeah, it's cool. It's a good book. Versus where is the Copperplate? Sorry, versus, so it's English roundhand or Copperplate or engrossers. They're technically slightly different, but I won't get into the differences of them for most people, they're the same. They're interchangeable. So there's the difference there. So this is the round hand, or what we're learning now. Or there's American cursive, which is probably more what you learned when you were in school. But yeah, very cool. It's a fun reference book for sure, of just being able to flip through, and they have like, you know, one exemplar with how to do things, and then that's it, but it's a good one. Yeah, you're just like, I don't need to ever use this again. Oh, actually, is this is Spencerian, I think. Yeah, so that's Spencerian. So you have a lot of fluff on the outside. Or is this Spencerian? Oh, this is like, it's like a weird combo of Spencerian and Copperplate. It's like, I'm never going to use this again. But there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I'm trying to think of another one that's fun. Oh, yeah. So I had mentioned that I was taking a class with Chinlong before, for Mataraz, which is another one. She also has another book called Calligraphic Drawing, which is a delight. She's very fun. Big fan of hers. So essentially all those warm-ups types of things you can use to make shapes and make stuff, which is super fun. But yeah, she's like great. She's a wonderful teacher. So I'll just show the outside. I won't show the inside just because, you know, copyright, and I don't want to get into trouble. But yeah, that's like very cool. So yeah, like those warm-ups and stuff, like if you think about it when you're doing your warm-ups, like, oh, I could also use these for something else. Like if you become proficient at like doing them evenly or whatever, you can kind of figure out how to make shapes and drawing and all that. So this is a really fun book too. And theoretically, I guess you could do all these things with a pencil too, right? You can. Or digitally. I mean, if you have an iPad, get Procreate, boom, done. So yeah, there's my show and tell. My show and tell for today. And with that, I will jump off of stream because it is bourgeois outside. And I see, because I have my blinds down, and but I can still see the sun is out, and I'm just like, it's time for outdoors, time for some vitamin D, I think. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy that he was pretty good, actually. I'm very surprised. He was pretty good. It was because I bribed him with lots of food beforehand. Oh yeah, that'll do it. I'll get some actual sun. It'll be great. It's very exciting. But thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to have at least one person chit-chatting with me in the chat. So it's good. I always like that. I'll be back on Monday. I'll be doing Paramore song again. You could write in that. Just hanging out, chilling while I do some calligraphy. And then next Thursday we'll be probably finishing the Majuscule alphabet. Don't worry, it's up on my YouTube. I just uploaded it today. So if you want to go back and watch like 2 hours of content, it's there. So it's all good. But stay safe. I'll see you next week and enjoy your weekend. Thanks for coming by again.